Bitcoin right now, it's going to be driven by institutional adoption as an asset, and it's also going to be driven by technology utility, and it's also going to be driven by macroeconomic winds. So when you look at the next 4 to 8 years, the institutional adoption is driven by the utterances of the chair of the CFTC, the SEC, by FASB accounting, you know, the fair value accounting adoption, by the adoption by the FDIC. Decisions, if you look at BNY Mellon, if you look at BlackRock, if you look at Fidelity, you know, like, if you look at, let's take Bank of America, pretty big bank. The joke I used to tell is when I decided to buy Bitcoin in 2020, I told my broker at Merrill Lynch, which is a division of Bank of America, I said, I think I want to buy Bitcoin. Can you sell it to me? And he said, I can't even talk about it. I get fired. Okay, and I said, okay, you sure? He said, we don't cover it. I can't talk about it. We're afraid of it. I said, okay, well, I want to wire $175 million somewhere else. So I wired the money, you know, and I bought the Bitcoin, and I still have the Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is considered by many to be the opportunity of a lifetime for several reasons. Its limited supply, decentralization, and borderless transactions make it a valuable store of value like gold, but way more efficient. Moreover, being the first application of blockchain technology that took the world by storm, it also has higher volatility and risks, creating life-changing possibilities for new investors. In this video, Michael Saylor, the CEO of Microstrategy, will show you his view and how the next 8 years will create more millionaires than ever with this unique opportunity. Please pay close attention until the end so you know how you can be one of them.
When I had to like wire the million Satoshis for the meme competition, I was like, I have to buy this stuff because there's no way I want to be short Bitcoin when I'm giving it away or paying it. So I did that. 2 years go by, and just last week, my secretary called me. She says, hey, Merrill Lynch sent a bunch of documents over, and they want you to sign them. And I said, what? I didn't ask for anything. She said, well, you have to sign these documents so that you can buy Bitcoin with Bank of America, and they want you to sign them now. I said, okay. So now, you know, they wouldn't sell it to me, and now they're jamming it down my throat. Like, so that's like a leak for you guys. Like, presumably, if Merrill Lynch is going to all their clients saying, fill this out, I think the Bank of America has embraced Bitcoin. Big deal. So for store of value, when these big, you know, the offshore banks, right? Celsius is a bank. BlockFi is a bank, FTX is a bank, Voyager is a bank. They're not going to cross the chasm and continue with us in the next decade. They're going to be replaced with JP Morgan and Bank of America and BNY Mellon and Fidelity. And that's going to go a long way toward institutional adoption and driving Bitcoin as a store of value. In 1991, you had TCP/IP and we had the internet, but not many people used it. In 1994, you had the Netscape browser, and that was the killer app for the internet. And pretty soon you had 100 million people download that browser, and it caught fire. Well, we are like 1991, 92 in money over the internet, money over IP. And in my opinion, there's going to be a couple of killer apps. On the consumer side, a killer app that's like a Lightning wallet that moves digital dollars and BTC and swaps in and out of local currency. When you can move the peso, the dollar, and the BTC in the hands of of anybody in Argentina. I don't know why every adult in Argentina wouldn't download that, right? And so that'll go to billions of people. So the killer app for Lightning is coming, hundreds of millions and then billions of people downloading these applications. My firm's working on an application to monetize any website.
And these are the consequences for Bitcoin with these applications.
When those kind of applications get going, that's going to create massive demand for Bitcoin and massive enthusiasm for this and change the narrative. That'll be the second driver, right? And the third driver, and again, this is where the politicians are going to help us out, they're going to keep printing money, right? You know, you think we're tightening momentarily in the US, but they're not going to tighten in the rest of the world. They're going to print money in every single country. All their currencies are going to continue to weaken. You know, the Fed took us into a steep nosedive, nearly crashed the currency when they took the interest rates from 280 basis points to 180 to 5 basis points on the 1 year. And then they pulled up and they brought the interest rate from 12 basis points up to 470 basis points on a 1-year treasury in 12 months. And it's kind of like that strafing run in Maverick when the guy goes down in the valley, nearly crashes, and pulls up and pulls 10 Gs and just about rips the wings off the plane. And that's what we're doing, except we're doing it with the entire $500 trillion economy right now. And we've got to the point where the pilots are blacking out. I don't think the economy of the world will take much more of the pulling up. They're going to have to take their hand off the stick, loosen up a bit, otherwise they're going to crash every single economy. And as they do it, we're going to see more inflation. That inflation is going to continually be a marketing driver. And the combination of those three things are going to play out against the new reality, which is Bitcoin is the only digital commodity. It is the only crypto asset. There is no second best crypto asset.
And this is also why Bitcoin will be the best opportunity you will probably be during your lifetime.
His observation was you're working as hard as you can for a currency that's being consistently debased by someone behind that curtain. And if you work your entire life and you make every sacrifice, they can still take everything you've done from you in 12 months if they wish to just turn the dial to the left hard enough. And once you realize that, you realize that there's no point in playing a game that is rigged. But on the other hand, going on strike and waging a full frontal attack on the game that is rigged is just making yourself a martyr. There are a lot of things that I disagree with in this world, and I'm sure there's a lot of things that you look at and disagree with in this world, but I have the humility to know that I can't change those things through a full frontal attack. I can just become a puddle of blood in front of the tank or in front of the wall. Satoshi gave us something, a place where we could win, and a strategy we could win. And the strategy is withdraw your economic energy from the currency, which is the rigged system, and move it into a currency which is to your benefit. Not only do you move your energy into a system that isn't continually bleeding you, but it also turns Bitcoin not an inflationary currency. Bitcoin is a deflationary currency which is viral and getting stronger. When you work as hard as you can and you sacrifice everything you have in order to support a weak currency that's collapsing, you just service the regime. And when you put it into a semi-weak currency, slowly weakening, right, you still just surrender your hope and your future. When you put it into a deflationary currency, a currency that gets stronger as more people join, not only do you stop feeding the corrupt system, but you begin to strengthen the virtuous system. And Bitcoin gets stronger as more people join. Bitcoin gets stronger as you put more money into it, but Bitcoin also gets stronger as you put more creativity or innovation. Every single developer that builds a Lightning app or builds a new improvement to Bitcoin makes the network stronger. Of beauty, that's compelling, that's communicative. You're making Bitcoin better, you're making the world a better place, we're reaching a new audience. And when you're working behind the scenes, if you work for a regulator or a policymaker, or I meet people that are working at a bank. I met some people the other day, they said, we're at a bank, we're believers, and we're going to get our bank into Bitcoin. Tell us what to do. And I said, well, here's my experience. Thank you for helping. Every single person that puts their vocational skill into this network makes it stronger. When you put your balance sheet in the network, you make it stronger. When you put your passion into the network, you make it stronger. When you bring your organization to the network, you make it stronger. And this thing you know that it's only going to get stronger, faster, smarter over time. You also know that there's never going to be more than 21 million, but you also know that over time there's going to be less than 21 million. And as Bitcoin has in essence not just decentralized money, it is not just provided sovereignty and given property rights to the individual, it's also decentralized charity, and it's privatized virtue. And that I mean it this way. If you put all of your money on a boat and it was Bitcoin and it sunk and you died with your private keys, you've just made a contribution to the rest of the network. Right? You don't have to find a charity. You don't have to give all your money to a foundation of do-gooders that are going to give it to someone, that you don't have to give it to Greenpeace or the Sierra Club or the Gates Foundation, right? 3 of my favorites. You don't have to give it to anybody. You don't have to put up with virtue signalers that badger you to death, that say you're not a good person if you don't give all your money away. The truth is, you can self-custody your money, and on your deathbed, you can gift it to whatever cause you want. And the default, if you don't have a better idea, is you die with your private keys in your head, and you gift it pro rata, fairly and equitably, to every other person that got you to where you were.
Do you agree with Michael Saylor? Let us know in the comments below, and please leave a like and subscribe for more daily crypto content like this. Thanks.